Hello and welcome to the trade setup. In this video we are looking at Paramount Skydance. This was a stock analysis request from one of the followers, and I wanted to let you know that anyone can make these requests and I will most likely cover them, especially if there is an actionable trade setup to follow. Now in the case of this chart, I am tracking this as an initial wave 1 up that has developed in a leading diagonal, and then I'm looking at this entire structure as an expanded flat that has occurred in a wave 2. Now, technically this wave 2 could be complete, but we still need to be open to the idea that it could still extend to the downside, and that isn't necessarily a problem. We do, after all, still have the entire support zone that we would normally look out for in a wave 2 correction, which is all the way down to the 78.6% retracement at the $6 level in the case of this chart. Now, so far, the 61.8% retracement has been key for this entire chart. Basically, this structure has only found significant support so far at this level. Previously here, and then we pushed here higher in a wave B or a wave X, and now again after this correction we got to the 61.8% retracement, found support once again, and now we are pushing higher. Now in this correction in the wave 2, I could be considering it complete in the case that I would be tracking this as a WXY pattern to the downside, but it could still develop as an ABC structure that is perfectly valid, and in that interpretation I would be looking still for another low in this area, resetting the wave 2, but then we would have a pretty reliable structure where we would have a pretty decent 1-2 setup, and if we manage to form an initial 5-wave move to the upside, we have our first level of confirmation. Then we look for the correction in a wave 2, that would be our second level of confirmation, and then we have again an opportunity to enter in this wave 2 area and look for the third wave to the upside. But until that happens, we are playing with reduced probabilities for a direct breakout, especially because so far the structure that has formed to the downside is a bit corrective. Nothing really reliable has occurred in this area. And by the way, I am considering this the wave 2 bottom in the scenario that we have bottomed, and I will be tracking here in yellow a different interpretation that would still allow for another low within the wave 5, and that remains highly tangible, especially as long as we stay below the resistance area that we would have for such a wave 4 that goes all the way up to the 61.8% retracement at the $25.8 level. So far we are still within the boundaries of the resistance area, and there is a significant risk that we could be heading lower within this wave 5, even to the point that this entire movement could already be complete within the wave 4, and we could already be heading lower in this wave 5. Now, as I was saying, it is possible to have already bottomed and we will be able to track a movement to the upside, but unfortunately the structure that has formed to the upside is choppy and doesn't really have any clear point of a 5-wave structure that we could be looking for support. And here we had on the micro here an ABC pattern that could have formed to the upside. Could be a wave A up, we had a correction, and then this could be another ABC pattern that could have formed to the upside. Not really something that could be an overall WXY pattern that has overall developed. We haven't even reached the 100% extension within this second push to the upside, and even internally this movement doesn't really have a 5-wave structure. I could count it maybe as a wave C, but honestly looks a lot more like a 3-wave structure internally as well. Then here again we had this push higher, so cool, we had an additional wave 5 or an attempt at a wave 1, but then it failed to create a 5-wave structure and had a correction again, and then we created a 5-wave move to the upside but internally, and then it failed to hold support for continuation in a 1-2 setup in this area. So overall in this structure we don't have much to be looking for support in this area. What could we even consider? Well, maybe in the case of maybe like an ABC pattern that could develop, where this would be a wave 1, a wave 2, and then here we get an ABC for the third wave to the upside. I suppose that could be the thing, but really, if this fails, I don't even think looking for a lower support zone is worth it. But yeah, I suppose we could track something like this, where if we manage to hold the support between the $17.4 level all the way down to the $14.4 level, we could still track continuation higher. But honestly, based on the structure that has developed here on the short time frame from the bottom that we consider here for wave 2, I honestly prefer another low in this push to the downside, and it honestly would be better for everyone, because then we may be able to create a more reliable structure to the upside. Because honestly, within this wave 1, it isn't an impulse, it isn't the prettiest structure necessarily, and I could even count it as a 3-wave structure. This could be an A, B, C pattern that has developed, but at least there is some pattern that could make sense in this push to the upside. And again, could be an ABC pattern, but this could also be a 1, 2, a third wave up, a fourth wave down, and then this is the fifth wave, possible wave 1 here in 5 waves. So yeah, I'm looking for the next 5 wave up, and so far it hasn't been provided. All we can look for direct upside, in my opinion, is this ABC pattern. Anything else, and even this is not a reliable pattern, but anything else is even worse in my opinion. So I would prefer continuation to the downside at the moment, where this would have been something like a WXY structure that has developed within the wave 4, and that would be perfectly fine. And within the fifth wave to the downside, I would be looking for an ABC structure that would allow us to find another low, another bottom within this wave 2, and then hopefully a more reliable setup to find new all-time highs. And for now, these are the levels. This is the trade setup. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, don't forget to subscribe and let me know what else you want me to cover, and I'll do my best to do that in the days and weeks ahead. And until then, I hope you have a nice day, and I hope to see you in the next video. Bye bye.